For the longest time, I wanted to raise bees, but to be completely honest with you, I've been a little afraid of getting stung for that matter. But this year we brought on bees to our homestead for the first time, and I'm working forward and trying to move past that fear, because I want to have the source of honey here on our homestead, as well as to have bees here to pollinate the different things that need to be pollinated. There's so many benefits to having bees. So we just got our beehive not too long ago. Adam from Farm Life Outfitters, friend of ours, helped us with getting that hive and bringing it here. And those bees aren't quite ready to have the honey harvested yet, but we recently got this system here called Hive Butler from a lady named Tracy, starting a new business, and these are actually harvesting bins for harvesting honey. And Adam is actually ready to harvest some honey with some of his bees, and we're going to use these to help him with harvesting the honey. So I'm on the road and the whole team is here with me, and we're heading to Adam's place. He lives a little less than an hour away, and a couple months ago he helped us out, came all the way out to our homestead to help us with processing chickens, him and his daughter. So it's neat to be able to come to his place. We actually haven't been to his place yet, and help him out in some capacity, because he's been a huge help to us. But just not too long ago, when we got the Hive Butlers, Tracy, the owner of the company, explained to us a number of the benefits and ways to use the Hive Butler system. Greetings friends, Lacey and I are here with Tracy, and today she's going to talk to us about bees. And for those of you who have been following us for some time now, you know that we recently got bees, probably about 2 months or so ago, but she's here to provide us with a little bit more education.
So, beginning beekeeping is always challenging. There's a lot going on and you're working really hard. You spent quite a bit of money to get started. You want it to be enjoyable, and I designed a product called the Hive Butler, and it was based on the frustrations I felt as a beginning beekeeper. I got a couple honey frames over here that I want to show you. You work all year long with your bees, trying to provide them with the best health and opportunity to make this. This is what you're going for.
Yummy.
Beautiful, beautiful honey. Lacey, would you hold that and tell me what you think about it?
Oh, it's heavy.
It is very heavy. Honey weighs 12 pounds per gallon, so more than milk. And so, Lacey, would you try to grab this box and pick it up? This is just 9 frames of honey.
Here we go, guys.
Come on, you're strong. You can do it.
Okay, so we can show you. It's got honey in there. There's honey down in the bottom. So before I designed the Hive Butler, when I'd pull these really heavy honey frames out, I had nowhere to put them. We were putting them in dirty coolers, those flimsy totes from Office Max or Lowe's that aren't food grade. I was really frustrated. Honey is the prize that you're working for. So I wanted a food grade box, wanted these heavy duty handles so we could carry it in the field wearing leather gloves. Wanted the frames to be spread out, so when I have these beautiful honey frames that are actually fatter than the wood, they wouldn't be stuck together, damaging one another. And then whatever honey does leak out while I'm waiting into the bottom, it's a food grade tote. I can reclaim that honey and feed it to my family. So we designed the Hive Butler for that purpose. We're very happy. We produce them in Indiana. Even the plastic that we make the totes out of is made in Indiana. So really happy about that. Solid lid that snaps on, keeps it clean. Honey draws moisture from the ambient air, so you want the solid lid on. So that's all great, but honey harvest is only a couple days a year. So we knew this product needed to work harder for beekeepers. I don't know if you guys know yet, but after we harvest these honey frames, they have to run through the freezer for about 36 hours, and then you have to store them over the winter. So the Hive Butler also stores honey frames over the winter. All right, so you can tell what you have stored in it. It's great. You can look out in your storage area and go, oh, there are my medium frames, there are my deep frames. So you're trying to protect these frames from damage and from wax moths. That is your big pest for winter storage. So the Hive Butler helps you do that without using a nasty toxic chemical called paramoth, which is traditionally what beekeepers would use. All right, so you store over winter, and that's really great and nice. But the game changer for the Hive Butler was the ventilated lid. So we have a solid lid for honey or for storage, but the ventilated lid now lets you take the Hive Butler with you down to do your bee work. So you're going down to do your hive inspection. You take your empty Hive Butler with you with the ventilated lid. As you're going through your hive, looking at the frames of bees, you're hanging them in the Hive Butler. Often I'll keep the lid upside down if I'm getting in and out a lot. If I see the queen, in she goes, safe and protected. Not hanging her on a frame rack, not standing them up in the grass where you step on her, she flies away. I gave you 1.5 inches below a deep frame, so if you pull out a frame, it has queen cells on it. You can safely hang that in there. If your bees swarm or you get called about a swarm, Hive Butler up the ladder, one hand on the Hive Butler, doesn't matter how I carry it, all the frames are secure. Let's do that with the lid off so you can see it. Coming down the ladder, doesn't matter how I carry it. All the frames are secure, the bees are riding home. Snap your lid on safely, no more wood wear and ratchet straps going up the ladder. We gave you zip tie holes if you're going to put bees in your vehicle.
Yeah.
All right, so the Hive Butler's working for you at honey harvest. It's working for you in the off season. It's working for you in the bee yard.
Yep.
And then we went ahead and made it into an uncapping tank.
Oh.
So in order to harvest that honey, you have to uncap. This is a frame that's already been harvested. This is a little bit of capped honey right here. This is just my demo frame. So we have 2 Hive Butlers. One has the bottom cut out with food grade sieve that's removable. And the other is just a Hive Butler with a honey gate in the front. So to do your uncapping, you rest your frame on that nice screw. You use a bread knife, cut, the cappings fall down. You can either hang the frames in the Hive Butler and let them drain, or you can send them off to the extractor. So one person's cutting, the other person's processing those frames over to the extractor. As the cappings drain, this honey can be bottled through the honey gate into bottles if you want. All the cappings, there's multiple ways to process your cappings. You could carry the box literally out to the bee yard and set it out there, and the bees will work through the cappings, dry them off, dry as a bone. And then you can collect them and melt them down and clean them for wax. You can dump the whole load into a foil roaster pan and put it in the oven at a low heat. The honey will melt sink to the bottom, the wax floats to the top and cools, and take it off, and there's your wax. So multiple ways to do that as well. The best part about our uncapping tank, again, is this bottom tote just has a gate in it. So you could still use it with the ventilated lid down in the bee yard or collecting a swarm. It just has a gate in it. So this isn't an uncapping tank that's going to sit on your shelf 11 months of the year when you're not harvesting
And only
honey.
use it once.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
Perfect.
So we tried to make a tool that was useful to you all year round, all made in Indiana.
That is awesome.
Well, thanks.
And as far as this plastic material, it looks like it's pretty UV resistant.
This is what they call it is crate grade HDPE. It's the same stuff they make milk crates out of. So that gives you an idea of the longevity. I have had one laying out in my bee yard since we started manufacturing them in March of 2019. All good.
Okay.
Yep. Absolutely. They are BPA free, freezer, dishwasher safe, all of the above.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so
love for you guys to try one out. We want to send one home with you and let you have a try on it and see what you think.
that would be fantastic.
Love to.
Yes. And where can someone else go to purchase some of these?
So our website is thehivebutler.com. Shipping is not very good. It's a big lightweight object, and I don't make money on the shipping, but because of COVID, that's what we're doing right now. So if there are bee conferences in your area, or if you have bee retailers in your area, you should reach out to them and ask them to look at Hive Butler products. We'd be happy to start spreading the word.
All right. Morning, how we doing?
Good, how you doing, man?
All right.
Come at the right time? Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Just finishing up.
There you go. Take care of these yourself.
I feel good.
So I just got this, haven't tried it on yet, so I hope it fits. I think it might. What do you think? Pumping it up.
Yep.
Pump it up. I don't know about that. You're too young for that.
You like squeezing it?
Yeah.
Ready to go?
That's if you look ready to me.
All right. So how do I look? I feel like I'm glowing in the light.
You look like you're glowing.
Am I like a spaceman or some kind
Something like that.
Look like I'm coming to an alien crash site. So we're gonna check which ones to
These
first?
two right here.
Alrighty.
And then more than likely we'll take at least one of those boxes and move it over here. So
Okay.
they'll have some winter feed. These are two hives that I split off of those two a couple months ago, I guess. Which just means I, took several frames of bees out and put a new queen in these boxes.
Okay.
You see, since there wasn't a frame there, they filled it up with wax. That's a lack of coming to check them, is what that is. How are your bees doing?
I need to check on
Still
them.
look good?
Yeah, they're still flying around and
Yeah.
look like they're happy, except when it gets to be pretty hot. But here recently, they've been nice.
So you see all this is capped brood right here.
Does that look good?
Yeah, I mean, for an outer frame, usually the core of the nest is in the center of the box, and so I'm just looking down in these empty cells to see if I see any eggs. It's kind of hard to see without sunlight. Kind of looks like it though. But I mean, I feel pretty confident there's a queen in there, so we're just going to close them back up. And I'll take one of those boxes and set on top of here so they can have some food for the winter.
I think I felt one attempted sting so far, so just right on the shoulder.
Here's a pest. Those little black things, those are hive beetles. They get in and hide in all the little crevices of the hive.
You want to get rid of those whenever you see them.
Yeah, that's a good idea. But the bees, if you have a healthy hive of bees, they'll keep them cleaned out. Usually from what I've found, if the hive is healthy, they'll take care of themselves. It's all the unhealthy. It's just like any animal. If you try to prop it up, you keep having to give it stuff.
Just like with people too.
That's right.
You work on staying healthy,
That's right.
staying strong. You don't need take a bunch of junk.
That's right. See, there's a ton of hive beetles right there. See how they're all hiding in the corner? You can make little traps to trap them in. See, just right away, this one doesn't look as strong. There's not many bees here. Lots of hive beetles.
And overall, these bees, they seem like they're overall calm.
They're very calm, aren't they? I've been surprised too.
Is that a good thing?
Yeah. I think so. The bees I have in my house, I found that the more aggressive they are, the more honey they bring in.
Okay.
So it's kind of a give and take, I guess.
I think I heard Doug say that too, from Off-Grid Doug and Stacy, that were more aggressive,
Yeah.
that they produce more.
You want to bring that hive butler over?
Sure.
Wow, look at all that brood. So So that whole frame is solid brood. You see how this is uncapped here. See all the larvae in there?
Yes.
So more than likely what happened here, this is emerging brood. So that means the queen starts laying in the center of a frame and she works her way out.
Okay.
So this part starts emerging first. So then she's already laid this back up as it's emerged. Then when you have this that's kind of solid but there's holes everywhere, that usually means they didn't like the larva, or the larva died and they pulled it out, kind of thing. So it may have had a varroa mite on the larva when they pulled it out. I'm mainly just checking to make sure that there's a queen, you know, and just their overall population. This is one that I'll need to come back to the end of this month and either decide to combine it with another hive or something.
Okay.
There's just not enough bees there to make it through the winter.
Okay. So with the population that low, they wouldn't make it on their own?
Yeah, it would be tough.
Okay, it'd be hard.
Yeah.
Now, how often do you recommend checking your hives just to see how things are doing?
Every week is optimal.
Okay.
But every couple weeks is good.
We'll
The
start.
bees, I haven't checked these in 2 months.
Okay.
So
Okay.
they're very self-sufficient, but
Okay.
you know, that kind of thing, if I would have caught that population 2 months ago, I could have been adding brood from one that was had a lot of bees in it.
Okay.
I could have been adding frames of brood to it
Okay.
and build it up. Probably not much in the top one. It's completely empty. I've got a couple hives that are fairly aggressive. Like, I couldn't work them this easily. Like, they
Wow.
would be on my hands, you know, they would be
Wow.
trying to get me. They're not like overly aggressive. They're just, you know, they're just mainly just figuring you out. You know, they're like trying to get at your face, and you know, not necessarily stinging, but just. So there's a little honey in here. So what I'll do is take each frame out and get any bees off, and just put them right here.
Yeah. So now they're getting a little more agitated. So how do you know when to add the smoke again?
If they start like
Coming at you. Okay.
I mean, you can have a little bit over there.
Yeah.
So,
Let's do that.
thanks for mentioning it. Forgot all about it.
I'm just hearing them more and more. Like, I think they're getting a little aggravated at me.
And the smoke actually causes them to eat honey.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they think their house is on fire or whatever, so it causes them to eat honey in preparation to leave.
Ah, so that's what calms them
Calms them
down.
down, and
Changes their focus.
I've read too that if they eat enough honey, they can't sting. Like they can't, like their stomach's so full they can't sting.
Wow.
I don't know if that's true or not. Go ahead and put that one here.
So what is it about these that you can tell that they produce honey pretty well? You mentioned that
gotcha.
just a few moments ago.
Gotcha. So one is the weight.
Okay.
Picked that up and it wasn't heavy at all. But
Okay.
two is this. It's just a different color than the capped brood that we saw earlier.
Much lighter, more yellow.
Yeah. And this varies throughout the season too. If you're extracting honey early in the summer,
Okay.
this will be almost white.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
May I feel how heavy it is?
Yeah. Let's I was talking about the whole box. I mean, you can hold that one for sure.
Okay.
But
Okay.
a full box of capped honey is like 50 pounds usually.
Here we go.
Just don't make them mad.
Yeah. What are some keys to not making them mad?
I guess find a different hobby.
So in other words, doing what we're doing, we're gonna make them mad regardless. It's just minimizing the anger as best we can, I guess.
That's right. That's right. This one's probably a quarter full if you want to pick that whole box up.
Okay. Oh yeah, that is a lot heavier than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was way heavier. Times you can run around wherever you want, pretty much. All right, so what next, Adam?
So now we're going to take this honey over to the hot house where we have the extractor and the tanks and things to extract the honey and put it into bottles.
Okay, so that's all we're gonna get from here?
Yeah,
get from the hive?
That's it. Yeah, we're going to leave the rest for the bees and let them have that for their winter food. Because we, you know, I don't like to feed them if I don't have to, and so
There we
we're going
go.
to leave the rest for the bees.
There we go.
Yeah.
Grab the middle fingers. There we go. Ah, my hand's done.
I do that again.
You gonna do the other hand? Pull it off. Middle fingers. Grab the middle fingers. There. Ah.
Got it.
You took my hand off.
That one away.
All
I think this bulb's a little big.
right. Now, what were you saying just a minute ago about how the it was like
If you look
perfectly
at it-
designed?
If you look at it that way, you can see the deeper part is angled. I guess
Okay.
angled back toward the center. That's just because it hangs like this in the hive, and that's to keep the nectar from falling out.
Ah, so it's perfect design to keep it from just flowing right out of there.
Yeah, yeah. And the hexagon is like the strongest design, you know.
That's cool.
These are actually drone size. The bigger around is for a male bee if they were to raise bees in this comb.
Oh, so they have different sizes for
Yeah.
each one.
So you see that one, that's a normal size for a worker bee.
Okay.
You see how much bigger in diameter those are. That's
Yeah.
for a drone.
Coming in too? So
Yeah.
what is the ideal time to harvest in the fall? I guess what's the earliest you can do it and the latest you can do it?
Well, most beekeepers harvest in like April, May
Okay.
to get that flow of
Okay.
honey, because you can separate it by a blossom too. Like,
Okay.
That's how you get sourwood honey. That's
Okay.
how you get, you know, wildflower honey or whatever. But
Okay.
you can harvest, like here, we can harvest in September through November.
Okay.
As long as you have a building, a heated building,
Okay.
you know, you can do it pretty late.
So it feels pretty toasty in here. How warm ideally do you want it to be?
90 degrees is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
That just
Yeah.
helps with keeping the honey or
Keeps it
liquefied to get flowing?
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Comes out easier.
All right.
Because when we put it in here to extract it, you want it to be pretty liquid to come out of the frame.
Okay.
That is basically what I have.
Okay.
You just I'll show you again. So when you're uncapping, you're going to take one of these over and you sit that on that. That way you can spin it around and uncap it.
Okay.
That's exactly what she said.
Here, or my dad did.
What are those?
It helped us with uncapping.
Okay.
We usually use a hot knife
Okay.
cutting down the frame, but this worked a lot better, really.
Where'd you get that at? That tool. What is it called, by the way?
I have no idea.
Okay.
My dad found them somewhere. So typically you take this knife and just cut down like that.
It's like butter on it.
You see how it doesn't get it all. So we just found that this works pretty good. It's nice, isn't it? Nothing like honey. See, here's one that's full. You feel how heavy that is compared to the one you had earlier.
Yeah, that's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
I feel like we'll have some good honey from that one. So that tool, more than cutting it off, it just breaks it up more.
Yeah, just bust the cappings open.
That one's heavier.
Wanna do one?
Sure. You just kind of roll it, breaking it up. I want to know when I've done enough and versus too much.
Perfect at the top.
Okay.
Can't really mess it up.
All this yummy goodness, I just want to. I got no feeling.
Yeah.
Getting my
It's a certain level of trust here. Just lean it back.
There we go.
What are you doing, Mike?
Trying to figure that out. Am I doing it right?
Yeah.
scary about it.
So I do feel like I'm maybe losing some honey when doing it this way versus the roller.
Yeah.
Hello, Daddy.
Hey, pal.
What you doing?
Just getting it up.
Yeah, even with a knife, you still have these sections that the knife couldn't reach.
So either way, it's good to have that rolling tool.
Yeah, we used to use this. It's very similar, but
How would you would just
you just scrape it.
scrape it. A little messy, but really rewarding and enjoyable to do, actually. Just working with natural things, tending to the earth and the creatures. It's pretty amazing.
So you want to start it at low speed so it doesn't sling the comb out.
And what's the name of this machine? Okay.
It's an extractor. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Extractor.
Yeah.
It gets the honey out.
That's
for you.
right.
So how long will you let it spin in there for?
There's really no.
What's that time?
Yeah.
Okay, just kind of watch
Probably 10 minutes is a good estimate.
it. Okay.
Yeah. But I usually do. Well, it has a timer. I forgot to say that. It shuts off on its own.
Okay.
So I let it shut off, switch it to go the other way, let it shut off, and then do it again.
Okay.
And then probably take a frame out and look at it.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's probably 10 minutes all in all.
Now, for someone who's a backyard homesteader or small homesteader, maybe they can't do something like this. How would they be able to extract the honey from their frames?
The easiest way would be to get something like this. You know, it's probably $10 or something for one of these, and roll it like we were rolling it, and just let it drip.
Okay.
Just let it drain into a pan.
Okay, so just like the high butler here, they could probably use that.
Yeah, that would be
just
perfect.
come right out.
Just set it up here and roll it, and then just sit the frame in there. It's already got pre-built holders for the frames.
Okay.
That would be perfect. It'll take all night to drip.
Okay. So it's going to be a process.
Yeah,
Where you just
yeah.
got to let it do its thing,
Yeah.
and then
If you've got somewhere warm to put it, it'd be perfect.
okay. So this machine just basically speeds up the process.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess a little greenhouse would be ideal.
Okay. Yeah, that makes
set
sense.
the bucket, set this whole box in a greenhouse, it would drip pretty quick. Yeah, all the time. I bet they're loaded.
Look at this. There's nothing like fresh honey. So good. I mean, really, really good. My grandfather raised bees when I was a kid, and we used to get honeycomb and chew on it. So this is just like bringing back memories.
Here you go.
Yummy? Did you come here just to try some too?
Yes.
Come on over.
Here you go, Sailor. Oh, wait. This big old wad, open up.
Wow, you open up so wide, it's like a puppet. All that yummy goodness. Alrighty, so Adam has given us a little bit of the honey and comb to take back with us. And since we don't have an extractor, the Hive Butler here will work perfectly for us, just extracting a little bit that he gave us. Well, Adam, thanks so much for letting us
Yeah.
come help you out and
Thanks for
harvest some
coming.
honey with you, and thanks for letting us have just a little bit to take back
Yeah,
and
oh yeah, you're welcome.
use for the
You're
Hive
welcome.
Butler.
Thanks for your help.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Hive
anytime.
Butler worked great. It was awesome for this. Everything that we did, we used it in every aspect. So,
Sweet,
yeah, it's
sweet.
been good.
And you've raised bees for years, so
Yeah.
how do you feel about somebody who's new to it, kind of like me, raising bees and harvesting honey? We're using the Hive Butler.
Yeah, I think that too would be kind of all-inclusive.
Okay.
You know, you could do what we did. You could catch swarms and harvest the honey, and then you're going to take that home and let it drain on out, and it strains it and everything. So I think it's kind of it's a go-to for an all-in-one tool for sure.
Fantastic,
Yeah.
and I look forward to using it on the bees that you gave to us earlier
yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
And if you guys are looking to get a Hive Butler, you can get your own. Right now, they've given us 10% off for those of you who are interested, and all you have to use is the Fit Farmer promo code, and we'll leave that information in the show notes below. Adam, thanks again.
Thanks, Mike.
Oh, and I almost forgot. Make sure you follow along Adam and his family's adventures on their homestead at Farm Life Outfitters on YouTube. Check out their channel. See you next time.